All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin. I'm your host, Tone Vays, coming you from the freezing and not very sunny London, England. What a surprise there. I think it's the first time I'm in London in the winter. Had to stop here for a couple of days, take some meetings. Great steak dinner last night. I am at a friend's place. I'm going to bring him on in a few minutes. He's also a trader. He's a CMT, a chartered market technician. Also came to the financial summit, the last one in Bali. So that's where I am right now doing this video from. And let's go take a quick look at the charts, and then I'm going to call my friend over and we'll chat to him. You guys could also throw some questions at him on like what it means to be a chartered market technician, an exam that I've never participated in. But it is a very interesting exam for TA traders. It's a global exam. All right. Hope the audio is good. And let's go to the charts. Okay, we're going straight to the weekly chart. The monthly chart has no changes in it whatsoever. And the weekly chart actually did exactly what we expected. We expected a bit of a dead cat bounce into the underside of the triangle. The area of the breakdown was in the vicinity of 18,500, and this week's candle had a high of 18,376. So we perfectly back tested the triangle, and we have now pulled back. That is a very frightening situation that is calling for potential downside. This is one of the reasons why we did not take on any additional bullish positions. We wanted to make sure that the current 4-day candle was going to keep us at the moving average crossover. That did not happen. So we remain 80% cash, but time is running out. Like, I want to be fully invested in Bitcoin before we hit that bull market on our 4-day chart allocation. So this is a very ugly looking candle, and if we don't go to new all-time high, if we don't go to new swing lows, that would be almost a miracle. So at this point, I have a pretty pessimistic outlook on Bitcoin. I'm not going to short it, but I will just wait for a new low, and it does look like things are headed in that direction. Hope you guys caught my last video with Peter Brandt. It was excellent. So many people enjoyed it. I'm going to go ahead and close his website at this point. And also, I forgot that Sam Bankman-Fried was on my YouTube channel, tweeted out from the Financial Summit Twitter handle, my little 5-minute interview with Sam Bankman-Fried. This took place during that epic live stream. It was that epic live stream with 50 people on it, and at one point I had like 40 on at the same time. Over here you only see 25. Here you see 16 or something, or 20 or something like that. We had 25 on at the same time. So you should check out the entire stream there. Okay, these were Peter Brandt's charts. We're going to skip those. I should probably close those and free up some tabs. That was a good discussion. Guys, if you're curious about what we talked about with these charts, please check out my last video. Unconfiscatable is going to go on sale once I get back to the U.S. I get back to the U.S. next week. We're going to put Unconfiscatable on sale for Christmas and New Year's. And after the first 100 tickets get sold, prices will rise. So you want to jump on this quick. Only 100 players can play in the poker tournament. You really want to sign up for these things very, very quickly. Okay, next. Let's go to daily chart. The daily chart, wow. Those that say TA doesn't work, well, it certainly worked here with the moving average, didn't it? Perfect rejection by the 50-period moving average. The daily candle was looking great, even gave us a green star candle on the MRI, but the moving average had other things to say. and we got the big rejection. We are now going back to the bottom of this horizontal channel. I can even alter this horizontal channel a little bit that way and this way. And we are now almost at the bottom of this horizontal channel. It looked nice. We broke up, but now that we are in this channel, unless we rally hard later today above the channel, this is a very bad sign once again. And things are not looking good for Bitcoin when it's not even able to break above its 50-period moving average. Short-term chart, not very interesting at the moment. We're going to go ahead and skip that. Well, we're holding steady on GBTC premium or discount at 48%. Discount, I still think it's going to go back to par. Oil, we had a slight discussion on this with Peter Brandt. He's on the same side as me. The U.S. government, they're slowing down on how fast they're depleting the strategic oil reserve, but they are still depleting the strategic oil reserve. Next week we will get the latest number, and I'm pretty sure they are depleting it some more. They'll probably be depleting it for the next 2 years in order to leave the Republicans with zero oil in the strategic oil reserve when they eventually take office after the next election. We'll see how that goes. Our national nightmare is over. They have, the Colorado people finally decided who is going to be their House of Representative member. So we can now close this tab because we no longer need it. The Republicans took the Senate. I will need a whole new YouTube channel to only talk politics and about how they won the Senate. But like I said, that's a different show. The CME is projecting that there will only be a 25 basis point raise next time. So right now we are at 425 to 450, and the next one is going to be 450 to 475. So this is very, very interesting. So the Fed announced a 50 rate hike, and now they're only announcing a 20. They're suggesting a 25 basis point hike, but apparently, what they say they're raising it to 5 and 5.15 from 5%, 5.125.
Yeah, which is bearish now because they will.
Right. So this is where I think the market is over panicking. Yeah, Kapoor, you want to jump on here? So we're going to talk about this. Hey guys, meet Kapoor, and he's here in London, and he attended the financial summit along with his brother in Bali, and they're both traders. And Kapoor here is CMT, a Charter Market Technician Level 1. You're going to take the Level 2 exam. He's also going for a CFA. He's finishing up his MBA or finance master's.
Masters in banking and finance.
Masters in banking and finance. He's finishing that up after some time off between school, undergrad. Does a lot of research in finance and helps out in managing the Financial Summit Twitter handle. So a lot of the tweets here are coming from him, and we're going to have a whole team of tweets. So I'm not the one tweeting from the Financial Summit Twitter handle, but I do have people that know trading as well as I do, like Kapoor here. So we're going to be doing lots more research. We're going to start putting educational webinars on the YouTube channel. You really want to follow the YouTube channel. But let's talk about the CME real quick. So the Fed announced that their overall target is now higher by 12.5 basis points, basically 0.125, and that is actually meaningless. So to me, this panic in the stock market is unwarranted, even though the S&P reversed absolutely perfectly from a TA perspective. It respected the declining line, it respected the moving average, but I think that starting next week, people are going to realize that, hey, the Fed is going to only be raising rates by 25 basis points going forward. And it's not a big deal. And overall, they'll raise it an extra 12.5 basis points. So who cares? I still think that the S&P will not go to new lows. Bitcoin might go to new lows, but I don't think the S&P will go to new lows, and it will eventually break that line. What are your thoughts? Because you follow the Fed closely, and we're going to be doing spaces as well with the Financial Summit Twitter handle. You really want to follow the Financial Summit on Twitter and YouTube and even Instagram, because that's where most of our content is going to be, as my personal channel will probably migrate to be politics and only politics. And if you want our knowledge of trading, it's going to be there. Maybe one day, even these live streams might move to the Financial Summit YouTube channel, and my channel becomes a political channel. So you definitely want to follow those handles, guys. Okay, so what are your views on the Fed, what they're doing, and how does that relate to the S&P? Because Bitcoin is clearly correlated with the S&P.
100% it is, Tom, correct. So what I'm thinking now is, what I'm looking at now is that the whole year, whenever the FOMC happened, every single time the market dumped at 2 p.m. when the hikes were announced, and then at 2:30 p.m. it basically pumped again. This was the first time that didn't happen. Why? Because market is basically over panicking, as you said. It's not a big deal. It was 50 BPS. We were at the resistance. Technical point of view, this should have been broken, but it did not happen. One reason I'm looking at is the VIX volatility index, which is the 30-day implied volatility of S&P.
Let's pull up the VIX real quick. Hey guys, since I happen to have Bitfarm stock, I am watching this so carefully. Next week is a second consecutive MRI buy. Kapoor is also a big MRI fan, and stock is now at 46 cents. Man, I'm watching it. I may wait till next year, but I'm finding the stock very interesting. As you guys know, I don't like to give specific trade recommendations, but I'm finding it super interesting. We are going to talk about DXY again, but let's pull up the VIX. I have not pulled up the VIX in a while. Let's take a look at the VIX.
Yeah, and if we can just have S&P 500 as well with the VIX, if we can just parallel screen it.
Oh, you're the parallels.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can have two of them, both of them, and we can see that whenever VIX has gone below 20, then every single time S&P has got rejected.
Interesting. They have the TSX, which is the Canadian version.
Okay, and it was the same thing this time as well. As soon as the VIX hit 20, S&P started getting rejected from the resistance. So we have been looking at this from a long time now.
Oh wow, I gotta clean this up big time. Hold on. Wow, super trend here. Triple moving average. Volume we don't need. That's an old Ishimoku cloud. Wow. Close that. Moving average forecast. Oh, okay, I should leave the moving average forecast. VR, what the hell is that? I don't know what that is. Oh, Bollinger Bands. How about that? Lucid SARS. Trend there. I think I wrote that code. All right, well, I have all of these anyway, and MRI. Okay. But MRI shouldn't have a yellow star, so that's probably an old version of the MRI bag. So we're gonna close that as well. Yeah, it's just haven't opened this in a while in this format. Okay, so here we go.
All right, so if we basically get the format which has one screen here and one over there.
What do you mean?
Yeah, this one, the second one first.
Oh, this one. You want this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and now we can see, if we zoom in into the VIX a little bit, whenever we have made a bottom on VIX, which is 20.
They're both weekly. You want the weekly or daily?
Weekly is good.
Weekly,
yeah.
Okay.
Whenever we can see that, what was the date of the top for S&P 500?
The date of the top was right at December, so right at the end of the year.
Yeah,
so
and where was VIX at that time?
December 2021. So January 2022.
Yeah, and VIX at that time was at the bottom, which is 3rd of January. Over here. Yeah, exactly that point.
Yep.
So we saw that VIX bottom and S&P topped. And the next thing happened, S&P topped again when VIX bottomed again the next time.
Yeah,
And the
that
very
would be
next time as
March.
well. Yep.
Yep, there it is. And then right here
And
is
then-
August.
Yep. This one, this top.
Yep, the top
Yeah.
in August right there. Yep.
Yeah. And then now again,
And now
over
S&P
there. Yeah.
bottom here with the top in the VIX. That was early October.
Yes.
Right there was an MRI sell
Yeah.
on the VIX. And now S&P topped November 22nd, and the VIX, of course, bottom. Yeah, they have an inverse relationship.
Exactly. So
But it's hard to
whenever-
say which one leads the other.
Yeah, so what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the range for VIX. I mean, it's a very clear range, and we can see if the VIX is going up, we need to make sure that we are looking at S&P according to that particular area. We are below the resistance. So until now, we either go bearish or we monitor the market. So I won't go bullish, but I'll rather monitor the market for a little bit and see for something. Bitcoin looks bearish as we talked about it. I believe it's going to make a new low. You should not short the market at this point because that time is already gone. You should be looking to either accumulate or just monitor the market for some time.
Right. So now we're probably going to have a couple of weeks of bearishness, let the VIX rise.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we don't make a new low in the S&P and we make one of these head and shoulder patterns.
Yes, exactly. That's what we are hoping for. But if VIX breaks out above its top, then there's going to be a new low for sure. So that's what we are looking at. Market is over panicking a little bit. The next FOMC, everyone is expecting 25 BPS, which we don't know what's going to happen. So let's not talk about that. But other than that, we can see that DXY is showing strength. And Tone has talked about that. DXY, there is a MRI buy as well on that. And at the same time, it's on a very beautiful support.
Yep, look at that. We bounced right off support with the MRI. And I think the dollar is going to start to rise now. And we can see other currencies like the euro, they're on an MRI sell. And the pound, where I am right now, also on an MRI sell. So, well, actually, our dinner tonight's actually going to be cheaper for me than the dinner last night. Because last night it was like a 223. We fell quite a bit in one day.
Yes, we did.
Look at that. Yeah, so this was my dinner last night. So I hope my credit card was properly charged. And I get this conversion rate instead of that one because that was not a cheap dinner. There's like a 5% swing right here. Wow, in one day. Look at that. In one day, the pound moved 2%.
And yesterday we were talking about this, that DXY is at a beautiful support, MRI buy, and it's happening already.
Yep.
So if we go back to DXY once and we go to monthly, so what I'm looking at is this parallel channel from here. So that's the bottom of the parallel channel, this one.
Up that way, right?
Yeah, that way. And we can see that it is on the middle of the parallel channel right now. So we can do from the wicks. Yeah. And if we basically turn on the middle line, which is the 50% line, it's literally on that. It's on that. It's on the horizontal support, shows an MRI buy, and it is on the MA50 as well.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, on this one, we can even do, so this is monthly, right? So we can probably do quarterly.
Yeah.
And it would look very smooth on quarterly.
Yeah.
Super smooth on quarterly, like that. Yeah, beautiful.
I mean, can it go down? Yes, it can go down, but the risk reward is towards the upside right now.
Right, so we can turn on the middle line. Middle. Right there. And there it is. We're almost on the middle line.
Yeah, and MA50 as well on weekly time frame.
Yep.
So that is amazing. We know it's more important to basically transfer your funds into different assets rather than playing trades. So you need to understand the whole system. You need to understand the currencies, the cryptos, the financial markets, equities, VIX as well. Now we see how important that is. So that's how we play the markets, to be honest.
Yep, and I am certainly looking at this MRI buy on the dollar. So the dollar should strengthen currencies against the dollar will fall. Now I haven't kept an eye on the Russian ruble in a while. Where is that? Russian, there's the Ukrainian currency. I'm waiting for the Ukrainian currency to hyperinflate and the Russian currency to strengthen. But for now, the Russian currency, the Russian ruble is losing ground against the dollar, which tells me Russia is not performing very well in its military conflict. Though I do expect that to turn around eventually. We will see. Everything seems to be dragging out longer than expected. All right, let's get back to other markets. Gold, I'm not very interested in. We talked about the S&P already. Someone asked me to take a look at Coors because I thought they were going bankrupt. Yeah, it's 100% move, but it's 100% move from nothing, right? That's the problem. I would not have invested in this because I don't mess around with stocks that kind of declare for bankruptcy. So I think this is gonna probably go down further. They apparently had some good news. I don't know what it was, but that's 100% move in a miner. But other miners didn't move, so it's just specifically related to this stock. Now, what are your views on Bitcoin?
My views on Bitcoin. Okay. So what I'm thinking is it's a clear downtrend. According to Dow theory, I mean, when you're in a downtrend, you play according to that. And there is no reason to be bullish right now. Yes, if you're looking at long term, if you're looking at 4-year halving cycle, then this could be a good point to start accumulating Bitcoin. Anything below 16,000 is good for me. That's what I am thinking about. But everyone has their own say when it comes to trading. It's already down around 80%, not 80, I guess 75%, which is a good discount, I believe. And there is a lot of FUD which is happening now. Binance is coming in. And today I just heard that Donald Trump has his NFTs.
Yep.
So these are
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I have not looked into that news. I really don't care. It's kind of crazy that Trump does, considering he hates crypto. But most of them hate Bitcoin, guys. Most of the people, they love shitcoins because they're just like dollars. You can just print them. You can print as many Donald Trump NFTs as you like. There is nothing unique about them. The only thing you can't print is Bitcoin, and that's why the government hates it so much.
Exactly. And that's where our money should be. That's where our say should be. You know, we should have that word because it's the only and truly decentralized asset.
Yeah, well, someone's asking me about Bitfarms. Well, nothing's going on. It's becoming very interesting for me. BITF. It's becoming very interesting for me. Oh, wait, I should not be messing around with this. How do I go back? Control Z? Do I take you back? Yeah, should be doing it here. BITF. I'm very interested in this once it goes sub 50 cents, and it has gone sub 50 cents. So let me see. Well, this was on my weekly scale, but I'm gonna put this right at 50 cents because that's coordinates 0.5, 0.5. So this is my line of interest, and below that line of interest, I'm finding that stock very interesting. I have not invested in the stock, but I might early next year when the year turns, so I can have a brand new, year in my retirement account. We're gonna start fresh, and I'm hoping that it's under 50 cents on January 3rd when the market is open again. All right. Anything else you want to comment on? Otherwise, I'll grab a couple of questions, guys. We'll let Kapoor go. There's a question here. How likely is it that the upcoming crypto regulation from the US makes S coins illegal? What are S coins? Shitcoins illegal? I mean, I have no idea. Like, guys, here's what you have to understand. There's like two people in government that understand the difference between Bitcoin and shitcoins. If shitcoins are made illegal, so is Bitcoin. They're not going to make shitcoins illegal, but say Bitcoin is fine. It's the wrong government for that. Latin American governments might do it. African governments might do it. Middle Eastern governments might do it. Not the Western governments. The Western governments will make Bitcoin illegal. United States is the only Western government that has a small probability, and that probability is small, that Bitcoin will be allowed to be used for any meaningful transaction. I mean, they don't care if you use Bitcoin for less than $600, but it's very, very likely that any Bitcoin transaction above $600 that doesn't go through the United States government's wallet would be legal, because the United States government hates freedom. If you want freedom, you almost need to go to Latin America or Africa or perhaps the Middle East. Yes, I said it, Middle East, for financial freedom. Yes. So the problem is that the West, Canada's done, Australia's done, New Zealand's done, Europe's done. There's zero financial freedom there, and there will not be. It's only going to be more tyrannical when it comes to your freedoms. So the only chance is America, and unlikely unless America splits, and then there'll be one America with financial freedom and the second America without it. But I don't know what they're going to be called. There's not going to be two Americas, so there'll have to be a name split. There has to be a fork there somewhere. So that has a higher probability where half of America has financial freedom and the other half does not. So I'm very bearish. This is why I am exiting the United States. I'm making all my efforts to. This is why I've only been in America maybe 3 months, less than 3 months this entire year, and probably less so next year. I still got the citizenship nationality issue to deal with, but this is why I plan to exit the United States, because it is going to be illegal to use Bitcoin. I have always had this view, and anyone that thinks other than this is basically kind of gullible. Like, you can try to work with government to accept Bitcoin, but they won't. The only chance you have is to actually be in government. So when half the government are actual Bitcoiners and not shitcoiners, then we may be able to do something. But until then, you got to be real careful what you do. Coors is not going bankrupt. We'll see. We will see. I'm not sure why in a retirement account is funny, because in a retirement account allows me to trade tax-free forever. So that's where I do my trading in a Roth IRA. I'm not going to pay taxes on my profits either. So it's one advantage of retirement accounts. All right. So any other questions, guys? Otherwise, we might cut the stream short. I got to meet up with some media. I came to London for a bunch of meetings, and they're going to start in a couple hours. It is like 3 o'clock here, right?
Yeah.
It's 3:30 here in London. Oh, I'm off to Portugal on Sunday. I don't know anybody in Portugal. If you are watching this and you are in Porto or Lisbon, find a way to message me. Tone, chances the bottom falls out of the S&P ascend. I mean, I'm fairly bullish on the S&P. I don't think the bottom is going to drop out. I mean, there might be one more low, but I think I think this low is gonna stay. I really do. So we'll see. I'll admit this low is gonna fall if we are approaching, like, I think this moving average is gonna hold. This is our, oh wow, look at that moving average. So this is the weekly 200, weekly 200 moving average. Let's go back. So the weekly 200 moving average, it broke here in Jan 08. It rejected the price in April 2010. It then broke it in October 2010. It wasn't great support, but it did support in August 2011. And then it was support in February 2016. It was support in January 2019. And it broke it with COVID, but COVID is an outlier. It only broke it for a few weeks, and then we rallied hard. So I'm going to let this one slide. And then it was the perfect support again in October of this year. So I think it will be support again next year. So until we break this moving average without, a COVID-style panic, without an outlier, I'm going to trust this moving average, and I'm going to trust that the low is in until we break that moving average. And I'm also looking at the Dow. This is the other thing I was going to show you guys. Indices, Dow. The Dow, that's daily, weekly. The Dow on the weekly is a lot stronger than the Dow and the S&P. So I think that the stock market will rally to new all-time high next year. That's just my view on it, until proven otherwise. Kapoor, your thoughts?
I mean, until the time I see weekly MA 200 as a great point, great support right now. If we break that, we also break the horizontal support. So that's a combination of two bad things happening, and it will obviously go for a pullback towards the upside to the MA 200 on weekly. If it does that, then I'll become more bearish. Until now, I'm thinking that this is a beautiful range where VIX and S&P are performing inversely. They are correlated inversely. So you can basically look at that and you can trade according to that as well.
All right, thanks for your thoughts, man. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah, look, guys, the world is in trouble, but that doesn't mean that US stocks can't go up. So this is my distinction. I think the world is in a monster recession. But Europe is in such trouble that capital is going to flee into US stocks, making them rise even in a recession. Yeah, what am I doing in Portugal? Nothing, actually. I have to go to London for some meetings, and I didn't want to go to London and go back to the US 3 days later, and I've never been to Portugal, so I'm literally going there to eat some good food and check out what Porto and Lisbon look like, because if I like Portugal, I'll be back, because I'm not a big fan of Europe, and I'm hoping that Portugal may change my mind as the one European country I really, really enjoy. So I have no business in Portugal other than meet people that are there, but I don't know anybody there. So hit me up and we'll definitely grab a steak, or ideally some seafood, actually. London has good steaks, US has good steaks, but in Portugal, I'm going to look for some good seafood. Yeah, well, no, we're definitely going to have Kapoor on more often. We're going to be doing spaces together under the Financial Summit Twitter handle. So we'll start once a week and then maybe twice a week. We're going to do overall market summary. We're going to talk about economic indicators. We're going to talk about some research. So join us in spaces, probably starting early next year.
100%. And guys, there will be so much free content on Financial Summit's Twitter. You will love it. There will be market reports as well. So we are basically bringing all of that. Even if you look at Financial Summit's Twitter handle right now, you will see a lot of dividend stocks. You will see a lot of charting happening. You will see a lot of threads. For example, if we just scroll down a little bit here, yeah, you can see this Bitcoin chart basically, and we've been posting this from a long time since it broke this support, as well as all different things. So we are live on FOMCs. We'll be doing spaces on the FOMC days just to make sure that the audience understands everything. So that's S&P. Yeah, and commodities as well, like silver. So we've been posting silver from past 3 months. We put a chart wherein it was at $18.5 and currently it is sitting at around $23. So that's amazing.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're going to be posting lots of good content here. This is going to be political free financial content, while my channel is going to be political content. So this is where you want financial content that's politics free. The Unconfiscatable Twitter handle will be Bitcoin only content, and the Financial Summit will be financial content only. And we will be doing spaces, and also, what'd you think about the Financial Summit, man? You were there.
Yeah. So this was one of the best conference or summit I have attended, because there are so many conferences happening where you will see a lot of people there, but this is more exclusive, less number of people, and you have such luxury over there. You're talking to big people, you're learning so much every single day. You reach a saturation point. You cannot even sleep because your brain is working 24 hours, guys. So it's amazing. I loved it so much, met a lot of people, networked with a lot of people. And I believe that's how I'm sitting here. That's how I'm sitting here in front of Tone and, talking to you guys, because it motivated me more to complete some certifications like CMT, like CFA, and, go in the field of finance, because when you see successful people there, you get motivated that you can also do that. So that's what happened with me. And I believe it's a very good opportunity if anyone from you all want to basically pursue this.
Yeah, we got dinner tonight with another former attendee of the Financial Summit, who's a big portfolio manager at an investment bank. I can't say which one. A lot of people come to this from like like major investment banks and other institutions, but they're coming as themselves, so they can't, like, they'll say in private like what institutions they work for, but they're not there on behalf of the institutions, so they can't talk about it publicly. Yeah, we're meeting like a big portfolio manager today, just to have some dinner. Met up with another friend that was there with us, working for an exchange, a crypto exchange. Yeah, so it's it really is an awesome event, and the next one will be in the UAE. We are back. It's not in Dubai; it's in Ras Al Khaimah, but you still fly it into the Dubai airport. It's right next to Dubai. It's just more interesting out in the desert in a nature preserve. Beautiful resort, and Rapport will be back. We'll be there, of course, once again.
100%, and we'll be talking about a lot of technical analysis, traditional markets, as well as Bitcoin.
Awesome. All right, guys. On this note, I'm gonna go ahead. Let me just see if there's any other questions. Any thoughts on the possibility of rate cuts in 2023 by the Fed? No, I don't see it. I think they're gonna just flatline. I don't see them rate cutting in 2023 because I think the stock market is going to go up in 2023. So what's the point of lowering rates if the stock market is rising? What is wrong with the Czech Republic or Poland? Well, there's lots of wrong with Poland right now because not going to get into the politics of it. I like the Czech Republic. I've been to the Czech Republic a bunch of times, but yeah, it's okay. I don't see myself moving to the Czech Republic, though. I see those countries moving towards socialism. That's the unfortunate part. I really want to go to Croatia. I want to go to Hungary. I want to go to Slovakia. I find the mentality of the people in those countries a little bit more capitalist for some reason. You would think that the Czech Republic and Poland would hate Marxism after what they went through with the Soviet Union, but they've been brainwashed enough to move full circle back into Marxist thinking, like most of Europe. I'm hoping Portugal would stay a little bit clear of that. They seem to be a little bit better, but they're on the edge as well. This is why I like Latin America, guys. Even though they're electing socialist leaders as well. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. And I will see you all on